What?
You bring a cup holder and it's my table. Like, my parents always lecture me, Tracy, you need to bring a cup holder on everything.
I know,
You have,
but
like,
it's
sensitive furniture in
But
my
you
house.
see, if this was my apartment, you'd do the same thing. I wouldn't use a cup holder and you would.
Yeah, that's actually probably really true, right? What's up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy.
And Paul.
And we're going to be doing one of Paul's decks, deck tech for you guys, on Karametra. So what is, like, the theme of the deck?
So this is kind of, let's play big stumpy creatures and put lots of +1/+1 counters on everything and just beat down.
Yeah, the deck's really sweet. It's, like, really good. It's gotten really, really good. How much is this deck?
180?
Okay,
306.
180.
Well, to be fair, I put a few more Planeswalkers in it recently. Those are Planeswalkers I've opened up in packs. Those are not cards I've spent money on and stuff.
True. Your split is actually, like, pretty even, which is really interesting.
That was unintentional. It just kind of worked out that way.
Karametra's nuts. She's super awesome. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
She's really good.
It's fun. It kind of, if it ramps out right, it just floods the board hard and fast, which is good.
And you play big, dumb things, and it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's get started. So the first card is Abzan Babel Priest.
So this is anything with a +1/+1 counter on it, has lifelink, and so you just stomp your lifelink. Delays the game if need be a little bit, and it, outlasts. So I've got a couple of the other outlasts in here too. They just make big things do things faster.
Yeah, it's great. And then it has outlast itself, which is awesome, so that it's only outlast for 1, which is super good. So
yeah, a little mana pricey, but I mean, lifelink on all your creatures with +1/+1 is kind of a good idea.
Really good. Sweet. I like it. Okay, then we have Abzan Falconer.
Same thing, but flying. And flying lifelink, and I have First Strike and Trample in here as well.
Let me tell you, we were playing against this one time, and then you were like, oh, all my stuff's got flying. And then I was like, oh, I can deal with this. I think I was playing Omnath, because none of us was flying. And then you were like, oh, and I just swing. And I was like, I can block the... Oh, no, I can't.
Everything had flying. My entire board had +1/+1 counters on it at that point.
I always get the Abzan, Babel Priest, and Falconer so confused. That card's great. Okay, then we have Anakin Bondkin.
And First Strike, even better. Let's just make big creatures with First Strike. Yep. If only I could put the one with Death Touch in this deck.
That would be nuts. Yeah.
It'd be fun.
But this is like, oh, you have Death Touch? Cute. I have First Strike. I don't care. Essentially. Card's great. Okay, Archangel Athene. Awesome.
Yeah,
card.
There's several cards in here that gain lifelink, and, well, I have the Battle Priest, which gives everything lifelink, so, yeah.
This card is nuts.
+1/+1 counters on everything.
Whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. It's just... The card is nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. There's a reason why this card's $25. It's amazing. Okay, Archangel Ties.
Yep.
So good.
Can be defensive and aggressive. Use to swing, make them pay for mana, because a lot of people tap out a lot in Commander, so... Somebody taps out, swing, oh hey, you can't block, I can go swinging for lots, or I use it more defensively when I don't have enough, make you spend money to attack me.
I agree. It is a really interesting defensive type card. Card's really good. I like Archangel. Avatar of the Resolute.
So this is already a 2/2, or a 3/2 for 2 mana that has reach and trample. So that's already really, really good. And then it enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counters on it for every creature you control with a +1/+1 counter. So late game, this is just a 2-drop 10/10 or 11/10. It's just what?
That's amazing. I kind of want this would be an interesting thing in Modern, even just for a 3/2 reach trample. That's like awesome.
Yeah,
that's so good.
The reach has helped too, because I mean this has more flying than it used to. If I don't have the thing with flying out, it's a good defensive for blocking for flying decks.
Absolutely.
And it's got trample, so hey, stomps over things. So, yeah,
That's
will
really
very
good.
Often be more than 2 for 1, so it's a
good late game
board
card.
clear too. Yeah,
I
very
like
good
it.
late game.
I don't know if we need to say much about Avenger of Zendikar, but...
I mean, if you're running green, you're not running Avengers Zendikar, and EDH, you're doing something wrong.
That says it all. Card's like the nuts. It's amazing. Okay, Bruna.
I have both Bruna and Gisela. I actually just
finally.
re-added Bruna into the deck. I forgot. I took it out at some point.
So good.
Flying, Vigilance, and return a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield. That's always good in EDH, because things die. People play field wipes.
Yeah.
This deck needs more of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're Bruna and Gisela, they're both super good. I like them. Okay, Champion of Lambhold. This card is amazing.
I mean, this deck's got 35 creatures in, or 34 creatures in it, and a little bit of way of recursing them. So, Yeah, that gets big fast, and it just says, "Oh, hey, I'm at 10 counters. Good luck." Unless you got a Progenitus. I don't know. Even Progenitus isn't bigger than it. So unless you got an Ulamog or Kozilek, maybe.
You know what Naturalist 2 says when another creature, not whenever another non-token. So this one Avenger of Zendikar is like laughable.
I've won games because of that.
That's amazing.
I had 12 lands on the field. It became a 13-13. Actually, no, 14 because Avengers Zendikar and then the 12 token. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Champion of Lamhold is just amazing.
And then I just rolled with the rest of my board, and that was it, because nobody could block.
Card's great. Conclave Naturalists. It is Reclamation Siege, but bigger.
Yeah, it's a bigger creature. This deck ramps out hard, because Karametra's ability is whenever you cast a creature, you get a land, so it ramps out real fast.
Yeah, Conclave Naturalist is really good. I like it as well as running Reclamation. Are you running Rexation here?
Nope.
No, you're not. Okay. Yeah, you yeah. Okay.
Decimator of Provinces. This is the Eldrazi boar that gives everything +2/+2 and trample, and it also has haste, I believe.
It does. It's got trample and haste. That's amazing.
So this is a 7/7. When it enters, it's still a 7/7 because of its abilities on cast. But giving everything +2/+2 and trample is a good way to end the game.
This is amazing. And then it also is casually it says creatures you control, so it becomes a 9/9.
No, because it's on cast. He's not on the field.
Okay, gotcha.
That's one of the rules everybody gets wrong with this card. But I mean, it's a 10 for 7/7, but it has the emerge, so I'll sack a Conclave Naturalist, remove 5 off that cost. Oh, it's now 4 mana.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is so real good.
Or sack anything that just is not doing anything on the field. Sack it, swing board. It's fun.
That's amazing. Okay, one of Tracy's personal favorite cards, Dragon Lord Mocha.
Yeah, people can't cast spells during my turn, which means I don't have to deal with counters.
Yep.
And people like to counter cards in this deck, and the fact that he can't be countered is just, it makes things a lot easier when people can't counter your spells.
Let me tell you something, when I played Bloom Titan in Modern, I played Dragon Lord Mocha. This card is the nuts. It is amazing.
Yeah, it's a fun card.
So good. Oh, I love it. It's got flying life like on top of it, and it's like a 5/7.
We should mention the curve towards the end of this video.
Oh yes, we should do that too. That's a good thing. Okay, Elite Scale Guard.
This is whenever a creature with a +1/+1 counter attacks, tap creature defending player controls. I guess what? If I have more creatures than you, you can't block.
That's really amazing, and you probably do. Probably.
Yeah.
Most of the time you do.
Oh, and it's bolstered too. So, and I have a Flicker Wisp in here, which we'll get to in a minute, and a couple other way of making cards re-enter the battlefield.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know
just
it was
make things bigger.
Amara Shepherd.
Oh, hey, I cast creatures, I get lands, I get things back.
This is amazing in Karametra.
So, what's fun with this one is because it's on casting of a creature, you get to choose a land. So, if I want something to come back to my hand so I can get a cast trigger, I can play a force to get it back to my hand. Or if I just want it to enter the battlefield because it's only an ETB effect, get a plains, it comes back to the battlefield. This synergizes very well with cards like Flipper Wisp, Bruna, Karmic Guide, Ray Dawnbringer. That list goes on. Yeah, there's recursion is always good.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I love it. Yeah, Amara Shepherd, card's great. I love it. Fierce Empath.
A lot of big stumpy creatures. You get to 6 mana real fast in this deck.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe not as fast as an Omnath deck, because that's just ramp and play
Omnath.
Omnath.
Do you remember that game that I turned 3 Omnath?
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
That was awesome.
I mean, do you remember the time I turned 3 to Ulamog and you just scooped?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, Fierce Empath, though, is super good. Really good. Avenger of Zendikar is probably something you get, with
Avenger of Zendikar's a lot.
You actually get Amara Shepherd, too. I've seen you get that with Fierce Empath.
I mean, it depends what the board state is, what I'm doing in the game. I have so many different ways I can pull out creatures for different situations.
I agree.
So it works really well.
Flicker Wisp, classic white blink card.
Yep.
Super good.
I don't think I
for
need to
ETB
say
effects.
anything about that.
Yeah, super good. Forgotten Ancient.
I think this is a very, very underrated green card in EDH.
I agree.
Because it's whenever a player casts a spell, you put a +1/+1 counter, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures. So if this has 10 counters on it, and you have 9 other creatures, Well, you can now move 1 counter onto every single one of those creatures, and all your creatures have a +1/+1 counter on it, which is great for all of the Outlast creatures, which give things with +1/+1 counters on them.
Yes.
It's a fun trick.
So good.
And I'm surprised it's not played more in EDH. And it's like a 50-cent card, which is shocking to me.
So good. Card's great. Okay, then we have Gisela, the Broken Blade.
Flying, first strike, lifelink, 4/3. Has the merge, or whatever it's called. I forget the
what
actual...
are they even calling that? Meld?
Meld, yes. That's
Meld?
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the fact that on her own, she's casually just, you know, a 4/3 flying first strike lifelink, even if you don't have Bruna, like, that's so good. Like,
this was, I actually put Gisela in the deck first, because I forgot I had a Bruna, because that was in my giant box of just random rares, whereas Gisela's the mythic, and so that was sitting in my mythic binder, and I'm like, this should go in this deck. Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, wait a second, I have a Bruna somewhere. That should also go in the deck, and so I put Bruna in. I have yet to play a game where I had both out on the field.
Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes to get out, like, both when you have something in an EDH game, but regardless, they're both super good on their own, I think. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Juniper Order Ranger.
This card is fun.
So good.
So this is, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature and on Juniper Order Ranger. So you get 2 counters for every creature that comes in, which, again... all the guys with Outlast. Gives them abilities, if any of those are on the field, which is always immediate, and it makes it bigger, and Juniper Order Ranger. I've had Juniper Order Ranger be 2020s. It's fun.
Yeah, that card's really good. I like it. Okay. Colonial Hydra.
I mean, it's a Hydra, and you double counters when it attacks.
So good.
So the first couple turns, it's kind of hard. Because it is only a 4/4 when it enters, but I have lots of ways of putting counters on it, so a lot of times it doesn't swing until it's like an 8/8, and when it swings, it becomes a 16/16, so, yeah, that double counter is really, really good.
There's a reason why this card's $11.
Yeah, and I have a doubling season in here. We'll get to that.
We'll talk about that. Karmic Guide. So good. So good in this deck.
I love this card.
It's so awesome.
This plus Flicker Wisp is probably one of my favorite things to do. I just wish I had a better sack outlet in this deck. Or this was an elemental, because then it would go in my 5-color elemental deck in a heartbeat.
That would be so dumb. That would be so broken.
There's already an elemental that basically does that.
What?
I don't remember. We can look it up after.
Is it the thing?
Maybe.
When it ETBs, you get something back.
Yes.
What is that card called? Now I can't think about it.
I don't know. We'll look it up later.
That card's great. Managorger Hydra. Awesome.
Forgotten Agent,
awesome card.
but with Trample. It's slightly smaller. It's a 1/1 instead of a 0/3.
Whenever a player casts a spell.
Yeah, but
not even just you.
Well, that's the same thing as Forgotten Agent. Not surprisingly, this one's worth a little bit more than Forgotten Ancient because of the Trample. And Trample is a big deal, but I still think Forgotten Ancient is very underrated. And it's a Hydra. Hydras are fun.
I agree. Yeah, card's
It gets big fast.
It's so good.
Not fun when people steal it and turn it on you.
Nissa, Vastwood Seer.
I mean, it's a Nissa. Need I say more?
Yeah, she's really good.
Fetches land, flips into a Planeswalker, which gets you the ult, which gets you your land into creatures, I believe.
Why doesn't it? It doesn't do untapped out the flip side.
It's supposed to. They have a recent update removed it.
It's supposed to. All right. Well, that's great. Thanks a lot for that.
It's there.
Okay.
Click.
Nissa Sage Animist. Reveal the top card of the library. If it's a land, put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, put it in your hand. You put up thinking untapped. Yeah.
Yeah, you get 6/6 elementals. That's
if you get to alter. Yeah.
I mean, I used more for the +1 than anything. That +1 is just reveal a card. So
card
get
advantage.
to play an extra. Yeah.
It's card advantage. It's super good. Yeah, Nissa's awesome. She's so good. Okay, Oren Reef Hydra.
It's another Hydra. This one is
landfall.
If it's a plains, in this case, it gets 1 +1/+1 counter. It's a forest, it gets 2 +1/+1 counters. Hey, guess what? I cast creatures, I get to pick. So if this is on the field, I typically grab forests. And it gets big fast. And it's got trample, so yeah.
Card's really great. And it's a Hydra. Big. Speaking of Hydras, Primordial Hydra.
This is probably one of the most famous Hydras. Yeah, it just enters with X counters on it.
Yep. So
and then
late
if it's got
game.
10, it has trample. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you double counters. So, you pay 7 on your next turn, the turn it can swing, unless you somehow give it haste. It's already a 10/10, so hey.
You have so much stuff in this deck as trample, it's nuts. It's so scary.
And the things that don't get it very easily.
Rampaging Bailals.
I had a 3-player game where I cast this on turn 4. Turn 5, I played a doubling season, and played multiple lands that turn.
That's amazing.
And everybody proceeded to basically screw.
And then you get a ton of 4/4s.
Yeah. 4/4s, a lot of 4/4s.
A lot. More than one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was getting 3 lands a turn or something like that. Because I had Sword of the Animist, this, cast a creature, land for turn.
That's so nuts. That's so good. Rhea Dawnbringer. I like this card.
Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Hey, guess what? My things get killed a lot. People play field wipes on me a lot for good reason. Yep. So to be able to recurse cards is a very, 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 very useful thing.
I completely agree.
There is not enough graveyard hate in EDH. There should be.
Yeah,
or at
there
least
should
in our
be.
play group.
You know what it is? I think people don't want to run things like Rest in Peace because that's so, it shuts off a lot of decks, so.
Yeah.
It depends on which play group you play. Some people are ruthless and they don't care, but not our play group. Scoobob.
I mean, I think every green deck runs this.
I mean, duh. You just run
Or
Scoobob.
at least
it's awesome.
every 2 or 3 color green deck.
It's just nuts. It's just, the card's great.
I don't run one of my 5 color decks.
This is actually one of my favorite cards in the deck, Servant of the Scale. I really love this card, let me tell you.
It's a 1/1 for 1. Not a big deal. But when it dies, I get to move all the +1/+1 counters from it to another creature.
I have literally seen you play this card on turn 1 and then been like, oh, move 13 counters onto something when it dies.
Yeah, I've done that. That's fun. It's like, I'm going to board wipe. I'm like, cool, I have one indestructible creature on the field. Oh, it's Karametra. Cool, because it's on death trigger. Karametra is, in some instances, still a creature because of enchantments or something. And, oh, hey, Karametra's now really big.
And then you're getting all that commander damage swung at you, and she's indestructible. Servant of Scale is just nuts in this deck. Okay. Then we have Tusk Captain.
This is the one that gives everything trample if it doesn't already have trample. A lot of things have trample, but I mean, hey, you can't go wrong with having more instances of trample.
I agree with you completely.
Especially when you have lots of big, beefy things.
As far as you don't have Nylea in this deck, but I feel like you don't even need Nylea.
I took Nylea out of the deck for a Planeswalker.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think you have too much ways of trample.
I didn't think I needed another way to give everything trample.
Yeah, I agree. Ulvenwald Hydra. Oh, this card's awesome. I didn't know you had this.
This is the one, power
sweet.
and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. I guess what? I put out lots of lands. And when it enters, you get to search for land. My favorite thing to do is flicker this one.
Yes.
Because this one is when it ETBs, you get a land. So anything with a landfall,
yes,
I get that landfall trigger, and I get another land, which makes himself bigger.
That's amazing.
I mean, this will almost always at least be a 7/7 for 6.
Yeah,
if
and
not
it's probably
an 8,
gonna be bigger.
Because if I have Karametra, I get 2 lands from it.
That's true.
So
good.
Yeah, I love. It's a good Hydra.
Verger's Gear Hulk.
This was a very recent change to the deck.
So good.
I figured I'd like another way to get some 4/4 counters on it. +1/+1 counter.
$17. Wow.
Yeah, it'll drop.
Yeah.
It's just because it's standard.
Yep.
But yeah, this enters, get 4 +1/+1 counters on any number of creatures I control. So hey, I get 4 creatures get +1/+1. Or 1 creature gets +4/+4.
Blinking,
that is how that works.
This is funny.
And it's got trample. So yeah, that's a fun thing.
So good. A card that's absolutely nuts that you need to spend money on is Vigor.
Vigor, this wins games if it hits the battlefield.
Yes.
My favorite thing to do is play this and then have somebody have a need to cast, what's the 13 damage to everything?
Blasphemous Act.
Blasphemous Act.
Yes.
And they go, oh, thanks for the 13/13 counters on everything. Unfortunately, Vigor usually dies in that case because it's other creatures, which is very disappointing.
Right.
But all my other things just got +13/+13, which makes them very, very hard to kill, other than destroy all creatures.
Yes. Vigor is nuts. Belongs in like every green deck. It's so good. Okay. World Spineworm.
That's a 15/15. You kill it, I get 15 damage back onto the field from 3 creatures instead of 1.
And they got trample.
Yeah.
Have fun. So
I mean,
good.
they're a little bit easier to kill, but you're gonna have to multi-block this 99% of the time to kill it. So you're gonna spend multiple creatures to kill it, and then I get multiple creatures back from it, so it's just a win-win.